Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this Dell XPS 15 9575 2-in-1. Alright, so this one, the charge ports are having some issues. We're using a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver to remove all the screws. You want to keep them in order because they can be different size, shape, and length. I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So we basically have this U shape here. Okay. Alright, if this video helps you out, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, so we got a replacement daughter board for the charge ports. And then also, I believe the customer wanted to replace the battery, so hopefully I got the right part. But there we go, we got all these out. Oops. Did I miss? Oops, I missed something up. Here you go. Sorry. One more here. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop the cover off. Usually these tend to be a bit difficult to remove. You'd open this up, and then if you have a very thin, you need a very thin pry tool to kind of get in here. As you can see, I can't get in here like normally I do with my fingernails. Okay, so what we're gonna use this thin metal pry tool here just to try and get in a little bit of it. And then once you can kind of get in, you can kind of work it and pop it a little bit. Okay. Again, this one tends to be pretty difficult. So let me see if I can go from the side here. Might make it easier. Okay, I can actually get my fingernails in there. And let's see if we can pop it out by pushing on the back. Okay, and it's kind of popping out. And alright. But yeah, this one is pretty tough. Okay, it looks like if I pull my fingernail down into it, then it works. There we go. Gonna rotate it over and continue doing that. So find the gap, and I just pull with my fingernail down and pull up on this cover. Okay, we're gonna continue working our way down the side, and there we go. Okay, we'll flip this over and we'll kind of wiggle this around to try and get the rest of this cover off. It's holding on pretty tight there, so I guess we do need to go over here as well. Continue pulling. Let's see if I can get my fingernail in this gap, or maybe I can just kind of pull it up and down. Sometimes that helps. Okay, wow, it's stuck in there really strong. Okay, there we go. So again, you can use like a little pry tool to do this, but plastic ones likely will break. You might need to use a metal pry tool. All right, so there we go. We got the bottom cover off. It is a little bit dusty here, so I am gonna have to clean that up. We're going to be replacing this board, and also we're probably going to want to disconnect the battery here. So this one, the battery model number is 8N0T7. Hopefully I have the right one. I'm going to actually have to check that real quick to make sure. Oops, I forgot to turn off my battery charger, so it was probably making staticky sounds. But anyways, we got that. So let me check, make sure I have the right parts, and I'll be back. All right, so I do have the right parts. Okay. I do want to clean it out though because it is dusty. So I'm going to actually take this outside and then use like a toothbrush to kind of loosen the dust up. And then I will use a electric air blower to blow all the dust. You can see that. There's like a dust ball in there. So let me actually take this out, clean it all up, and again, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, I'm back. I accidentally pressed the stop button instead of the continue recording, but cleaned out the dust. A lot of this stuff is kind of doesn't come out, but there you go. All right, and we got this. Okay, so if I remember correctly, there's probably RAM underneath here. We already went over the battery, so let's go ahead and take a look. You got a M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD. Comes out just like every other M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD. I am gonna probably have to take this cable completely out to disconnect the battery, so let me actually do that first. We're going to be using a GIS-1 to remove that, I believe. So let's go ahead and zoom in a bit and remove the 4 screws holding this down. Okay, you want to keep track of this. Don't flip it upside down. All right, make sure you put it the right way. Also keep track of all the screws. Again, they are different size, shape, and lengths, and mixing them up can cause damage to your computer, so you don't want to risk that at all. All right, so make sure get those out. Okay, now that we got these 4 screws out, hopefully this lifts up. I don't know if there's there's adhesive. Oh no. Okay, well, anyways, so what we're gonna do, I guess, because I don't want to peel off this adhesive, because by peeling it up there is a little bit of risk. It's probably not too bad, but at the same time, I don't want to mess around with it. Okay, anyways, underneath you have these little pieces here. Let me zoom in a bit. We're going to disconnect this or remove this. Okay, you want to be very careful with that. Set that aside because those do have some little springs that make contact with this. Okay, and it's on both sides. So we have another one over here. We're going to take that out as well. Okay, so same thing, kind of just pull this up, lift it out of the way, and then we'll grab this and set it aside. And let me see if I can show you here. You can see that it has those mini springs. It's basically designed somewhat like the processors. Okay, so just like that. Give me a second, I need to mute my other phone. All right, and this is going to be pretty difficult to replace. We're replacing this piece here, okay, as well as the battery. So I'm going to zoom out now because otherwise I don't know how I'm going to show the whole thing. We're going to continue using the JAS1 and remove all the screws here holding the battery in place. Okay, so we got that one, this one, 2, 3, and 4 on the top. All right, they do have little arrows pointing to it and kind of saying the size. DELL is somewhat nice about putting these little things here. I don't know what this, they say there's a switch on and off. I don't know what this on and off switch is for. I don't know if that's to turn the battery off or something, but anyways. Oh, it actually says please switch off battery power before accessing the rest of the parts and devices. So they have this little switch here. Interesting. So I probably should have done that first before removing those metal plates, but here you can see they have this where they label the switch. I'm gonna have to zoom out a little because I ran out of space to move the thing over. And they have this on and off switch. So we're gonna turn this into the off position. Okay. And assuming that works properly, that should actually turn the battery off to the rest of the computer. Okay, anyways, we're gonna now remove the rest of the screws. I'm assuming that's what that does. It doesn't really say it's a battery on-off switch, but it does say switch on and off. So I'm assuming that's what that's for. Okay, we got 4 more screws at the bottom. And they did say their battery's bad, so either way I kind of have to remove this. Sorry for the confusion. I've actually never seen a laptop with that before, so it's pretty interesting. Okay, so we'll get all of these out. All right, now we got all 8 screws out. We're gonna lift up the battery from here. And this battery seems to be somewhat difficult to remove. It's kind of, I know it's out of view because of this dumb cable in the way, but usually I'll get one finger underneath to help hold the cable and then another one on top and kind of just wiggle as I pull. Okay, and there we go. So here we got the battery, and you can see I was kind of pinching it like this, and the battery just connects like this. It's kind of interesting. They put some kind of glue here. Okay, so I'm actually surprised. I wouldn't think this battery's bad so soon, but the customer said it needs to be replaced. So that's what we're doing. There's the power battery indicator light and microphones here. They connect up here to the daughter board. Okay, got this small cable running underneath, which I'm not sure what it's for, most likely a fingerprint reader. Touchpad, trackpad connectors here, going here underneath. And then, is this the same cable? I don't know. This one looks much wider, so I don't know what's, oh, I see. This cable goes into, there's a board hiding underneath this foam. Keyboard plugs into there, and this plugs into there, and then this goes from this little board to the motherboard here. Okay, what else? All right, let's go ahead now and remove the daughter board over here. Still, we're using the JAS1 screwdriver. Okay, there's a lot of screws to remove here, so let's go ahead and carefully remove them all. Okay, so we got the second one. Be careful not to drop the metal piece. Usually when I disconnect the battery, I open the laptop and press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power. That helps a lot with the LCD LVDS connector, which is underneath this metal bracket. I'm not going to mess with that. But if for some reason you wanted to mess with that, make sure you do that. Very important. Of course, this one has the on-off switch for the battery. So make sure that if you turn that off, that you turn it back on afterwards. Otherwise, assuming that's for the battery, you're not going to be able to run the computer without it. So, all right, we're going to remove these 3 screws now. Okay. I didn't realize this had so many little pieces to it. Okay, get that out. All right, then we got one down here. We also have the speaker connected there, and that speaker cable runs down to the other speaker as well. So this one runs all the way over here, all the way to this speaker. So both speakers are connected to this one board. So if something happens with this cable or the board here or something, then both speakers are going to die. All right. Underneath we have the cable that connects to this. So we do need to undo that. All right. So I'm going to get my fingernail under there, flip that latch up. I don't know if you can even see that, but I flipped that latch up. And once you flip that latch up, we should be able to pull this cable out. There we go. And we can get that out of the way. All right, so next we have a couple more cables to remove. So like I said, the speaker cable here, this is going to be a little tricky. I'm going to try this with some needle nose pliers because that will probably be the easiest way. So I'm going to just grab it with the needle nose pliers and then kind of wiggle it. Kind of wiggle it as I pull it. I don't know if you can even see. So I don't know if it will work this way, but okay, yeah, I think it's wiggling. So there we go. And now we got that connector out. Okay, then we got the wireless antennas. Also a little bit tricky here because it's so cramped. All right, and they actually have a darker colored arrow pointing to the black, where the black wire antenna goes. And then they actually have a unfilled out triangle on the other side, but it's hard to see depending on the angle of the lighting. So we're gonna have to get this one out as well. So I'll get underneath with the tweezers. You want to go from the tail. I'm gonna push down here and pull up on the tail, and there you go. All right, same thing on the other side. And there we go. We do have to get these cables out of the way so that we can get the new board in. So just move them up. Be very careful because if you break those cables, looks like they go into the screen, and I don't know if you can just replace those antennas separately. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we're going to try and get this board out of here. I think we removed all the connections to it, so I'm lifting it up from this side here, as you can see, and there we go. So we can get this board out. Comes out like that. We have the replacement one here, so it looks like this. It looks like they're missing the metal bracket that goes on top, so we're going to transfer that over. The bottom does have all the tape and everything. It does have the foam, so yeah, it should be good, but we do want to transfer over this metal plate here. Okay, so we got that. We're going to transfer that over, and I think everything else is okay. So I don't know why they write this on here. They wrote 15 on there. This one has some random stuff on it, a 20 and like 54 or something. All right. This kind of scares me actually because they drew an X on there and there's a dent. So I hope this wireless card isn't broken, but we'll see, because if it is, then I'm not going to be able to get a replacement in time before I have to go somewhere. So then they'll have to wait a while to get it back. All right, anyways, we're gonna put this back in. So we're gonna put it at an angle here, and this hole here is for this screw mount that we need to get over it. Okay, so just there, again at an angle like that, and make sure this side goes in. The USB-C ports need to go in first, so I'm pulling it in down here, right, with my other finger. I don't know if you can see that. There we go, and everything's lined up now. Good. We'll get this metal plate back on top. Okay, make sure to line it up. There's some little raised mounts there that help hold it in place. Okay, black screw first. We'll put it down here. I like to turn it backwards until I feel it click and then tighten it down. Okay, and then we'll get this one in. Okay. And usually I turn it backwards to feel it click so that I can make sure it threads in the right way. Okay, and the third one up here. All right, now we got the speaker connector that we got to put back in. Just line it all up. Make sure you have the cable with the exposed wires facing up, and you can see the little, they paint a little dot on it to kind of help with that. We'll just pinch it back in. Okay, this little cable is going to be a little tricky, but let's get the white antenna wire in real quick first here. Okay, so line this back up. Again, hopefully this wireless card works, otherwise that's going to suck. Okay, get that lined up, and then click it in. Let's see, this one's being a little bit tricky. I might have to, it's going to be hard to do this because there's not much slack, but let's see. Make sure I have it. Hopefully I have it in view of the camera for you guys. Okay, there we go. Click that in. And then the black one, same thing. It's very, very important that you have this lined up before you push it down, because if you push it down while it's crooked, you can bend these things and then you won't be able to put them back at all. All right, so we got all of those clicked back in. Get this metal plate back on top. Okay, 2 screws. We're gonna loosely fit it first because this one can kind of move all over the place. And we'll get both screws in. So we got that one in, and let's get that one. All right, now let's go ahead and tighten it down. There we go. Okay, next we got this little cable over here. Again, it's hard to show this, so if you're not sure how this works, I do have videos showing this on a lot of them, because most models, they'll have this kind of latch system. But basically that latch needs to stay up, and then once it's up, you can get the cable in. Okay, and then once you get that cable in, while you're kind of holding the cable in, I just slide my finger over the top to latch it down. Okay, and you want to slide your finger over. You don't want to use a tool to kind of like flick it over, because a lot of times people end up ripping that little piece off. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we're going to get these little pieces back in, or at least this side. Okay, and it does have some little raised points on here that stick out and go into the motherboard to hold it into place. Okay, so just carefully, slowly guide that in. You don't want to try and force it. It's being weird. There we go. All right, once you get it lined up, you can line this up. This one also has those raised pins, and then we can get the 2 screws over here into place. Okay, we got that one. And we'll get this one. Okay, next thing we need is the other hard drive. If you're wondering, also, I don't think I mentioned, there's the BIOS CMOS RTC real-time clock battery here. The connector is right there. Make sure that you put it back the right way. The black wire is actually closer towards the opening, and then the red wire is towards the fan. Okay, so make sure if you replace it, you don't flip it upside down. Excuse me. Okay, then there's 2 fans here. Obviously, there's 1 fan connector there, and I'm not too sure where the second fan connector is, but I don't see it. It could be they're both using 1 connector, but that's usually not the case, so I'm not too sure. I don't see where else. Maybe it's underneath this plate, which I haven't lifted up yet, so let me go ahead and do that. Right, we're going to get underneath here and see if we can lift this up. I'm wondering if there's replaceable RAM in here. Actually, it's looking like this one is soldered down. I don't think we can take this metal plate out. Yeah, so this metal plate doesn't look removable. It looks like it's soldered in there, I think. Maybe? No? Actually, no, it's not. So it has, what is that? It has like a raised pin, dimples that help hold it. So technically we should be able to remove this, but I don't know. It's being difficult. I don't really want to mess around with it too much because they didn't have an issue with that. But this is the heat sink under here. Yeah, I don't want to mess around with that. I don't think there's upgradable RAM in here, because that's where the heatsink is for the CPU and stuff. So this is where the CPU heatsink is. So yeah, I'm not going to mess with that. All right, let's go ahead now and open up the replacement battery, and hopefully everything will work well after this. Okay, cut it open. Oh man, they put tape on the sides too. Oh no, they put that styrofoam stuff, so that's gonna be kind of annoying, the packing peanuts. Alright, so we got that. Open this up. Oh, they only put a few. Okay, so we got the battery here. We'll take it out. Oh, one of the packaging peanuts flew out. Okay, so here's the replacement battery. Let's go ahead and open this up. Okay, so here's what the battery looks like, the brand new one. Okay. I was a little bit worried because the rounded part here made me feel like it was inflated, but it's okay, it's normal. So let's go ahead and zoom out. As you can see, actually the battery packs are indented. Okay, and that's how it should be. Then we got this battery connector here. You see here how we had the original one. So original one was like that. Okay, you can see this one has like some plastic thing. This one has tape all the way up to the end. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and get this lined up. Pretty obvious how this goes. You have the little raised part in the center. Get this all lined up and then just push it in, pinch it in. Okay, so usually what I do is I take both fingers like this and I pinch the thing into place. Okay, but it's being difficult, so I'm actually gonna have to use fingers on two sides. All right, and pull that, and there we go. Now we got that lined up. Then we'll get the battery into place. Okay, there are little raised dimples at the bottom corners here that help line it up. Okay, so we are gonna have to tighten those screws down. So let's go ahead and get those two screws in first at the corners to make sure everything stays lined up. Okay, got that one. We got the other one in this bottom corner over here. Okay, now let's go ahead and get all the rest of the battery screws back in. Okay. Nice and simple. Right, then we got the 4 screws that are at the top here. We'll get those in. Okay. You can see this cable kind of sticks up a little bit here. Hopefully that will be okay. Okay, last one. Alright, so we got the battery installed now. All we gotta do is get the last little connector thing on. So we got this one, just like the other one. Goes underneath, okay, same thing, it has the raised dimples. Just get it lined up, drop it in. Get this one, line it up, also drop it in, and then we'll get the last 2 screws here to hold it down. There we go, and this one. Okay, so we got all those screws back in. We're going to turn this switch back into the on position, so you just pull it back down, just like that. And let's go ahead and get the bottom cover back on, powered up, and see what we got. All right, let's get this line back up. Okay, there we go. Let's get the bottom cover. All right, so just line this one up, make sure everything's good. Click it all back down into place. Oh, this one I might have to push first. Okay, click all of that back in. It helps to kind of push down while you're pushing on it. So basically you're pushing it towards the center to get those clips in. All right, we got everything back in place. We'll switch back to the T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver and get those screws in. Okay. And that should be all there is to it. We're gonna power it up. Sometimes the battery kind of makes the computer take a little while to start back up, though this does have a separate CMOS BIOS RTC real-time clock battery, so it shouldn't have that issue, but we'll see. Sometimes it still does anyways. I've never seen one with that on-off switch for the battery, so that's pretty interesting. We'll see how this works, all right? I don't think the replacement battery had that little note on it that said about the on-off switch, so we'll see. All right, anyways, got all the screws back in. Let's go ahead and flip this thing back over, okay? And we'll see if it powers up okay. Open this up, power it up. I do see the keyboard lighting up and the caps lock light. So hopefully we'll be good to go. So not much else was changed. The caps lock light is staying on. So I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it's just doing a BIOS reset. It could be the on-off switch cuts power to the BIOS as well as the regular battery, because not much else was changed. The battery, the main battery, and that, oh yeah, the caps lock light went off. And I think it's powering on. I see some light to the screen, and there we go. So that should be it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, again, please make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. And that's pretty much it. Actually, it's still taking a while to start up, so I kind of want to make sure it boots up. It's showing the DELL, but it's not showing the little spinning thing, so I don't know if it's still doing a little BIOS reset or what. It's kind of worrying me a little bit. Let's actually plug in the charge port here. So we had it flipped upside down, so technically it should be these ones that are better. So I want to make sure that it shows it's charging without bending it. Huh. Nothing. Maybe it doesn't like this charger. Right now the charge light isn't coming on here and it's still stuck here, so I don't know what's going on. Let's try this one. Still nothing. It might be it needs the DELL charger. Might not like this one, so I'm gonna have to ask the customer and see if they have their DELL charger. Sometimes also it needs to be plugged in with the original charger before it will boot up properly. So yeah, let me check with the customer real quick and I'll be back. I don't know if, hopefully they brought their charger. All right, see you guys in a bit. Okay, it's still staying like that. Let me try something real quick. I'm gonna hold the power button to shut it off, and then we're gonna turn it on one time. I am gonna get the charger, and then we'll see. I think my customer's out there right now, but we'll see what's going on. All right, so let me actually go get the charger from them real quick, and we'll give that a shot. All right, see you guys then. Oops. Okay, he already actually gave me the charger, so let's plug it in. I just realized I didn't know I put it there. Nothing's happening. It powered on. The fan's spinning. I'm not seeing anything with the charging light. What's going on with this thing? Before he would like bend the charger in a certain way and then it would turn on. Nothing's happening now. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna leave it on for a few minutes and we'll see if anything changes. Yeah, sometimes it takes like several minutes to boot up. Hopefully that's the case and not something else. Because yeah, I mean the keyboard is lit up and it's still showing this DELL logo, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, I'll leave it plugged in for a bit. We'll see if anything changes, and I'll see you guys then if there's an update. All right, see you for now. All right, well, nothing's happening, so we're gonna open it back up and check some stuff and then put it back together. I don't know. Let's see here. I don't know if it's gonna be I have to put back the old battery or something or what, but we'll find out. We'll power it off. Let's see if plugging this in anything. Okay, so you can see the charge light comes on and it actually stays on. Oh, give me a second, I'm getting a call. All right, I'm back. So the customer was asking me like, wait, what happened? So anyways, as you can see, I don't know, it turned itself back on, turn it off again. Oops. back off. Okay, it's off now. And you can see when it's off, it detects the USB, like the light is on. Okay, when I unplug it, it's still staying on for some reason. Oh, there we go, it's off. Okay. And now for some reason, the fan's spinning up. I'm gonna hold the power button and shut it off again. Huh. The light turns itself on, so it has nothing to do with the charger. This is really weird. Okay, let me open it up and we'll turn off the switch thing again. The computer's turning itself on, so it's really weird. Let's go ahead and take this thing apart. Hope it's not because of not doing that switch first. When I first did it to check for the parts, I didn't push the switch and it was okay, so I don't know. We'll see what's going on. Okay, we'll get all of these out. Alright, let's get these screws out. Alright, last one here. There we go. Alright, so yeah, the fans are still on and running. I don't know what it's doing. You can see the DELL screen is actually on, but there's no backlight right now. Oh, okay, the backlight came on. But yeah, it's doing nothing. So I don't know what's going on. Let's go ahead and pop this open again. I don't know what else to show you guys. But we're going to pop this open again. Okay. Let's see if I can pop it open without the other thing this time. Okay. It's working. There we go. Okay. So, you can see it's staying on. Let's see if we switch this off. Will it... See, I switched this off. It's still running. Okay, it finally turned off. I don't know if it's going to turn itself back on. Let's see. Alright, let's try plugging in it again while that thing is off and see if anything happens. And it actually activates this light. So right now the battery's disconnected. Does it turn on just charging? No. I think if the battery connector is off, it's not going to do anything. You can see, pushing the power button, nothing's happening. Actually, no. No, it's off. Okay, so we'll switch this back on, see if anything changes. We'll plug this in. Oops, let me plug in their charger, not mine. Okay. Right now this light's not coming on with the battery there. So maybe it's the battery that's the problem. Alright, let's power it on again. It's powered on, I think. No, wait, actually, no, it's not. Nothing's happening. Huh. Nothing. Oh, okay, powered it on. It's turning on. Let's see if anything's different now. I might end up having to put the old battery back in because it doesn't seem to want to work with this new battery. Alright, the caps lock light's on right now, keyboard's lit up right now, but nothing else. Okay, so caps lock light turned off. Screen, I can't tell if, oh yeah, screen's lit up. Anything gonna happen? Or are we stuck with this dead thing again? Okay, you can see DELL logo's on. Nothing else. If it's doing a BIOS reset, then sometimes it might take a while to start back up. But we'll see. Alright, let me let it sit again for a little bit and then we'll check it again. Alright, see you guys in a bit. Okay, I let it run for a while. Doesn't look like anything more is happening. So let's shut the battery thing back off. I don't think it should be anything with the SSD. I didn't mess with that. Okay, it turned itself off. Let's unplug this. It looks like the battery or the charger is getting a good solid connection now though, so it's interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and try swapping back the old battery and see if that is what's going on. I have a feeling that might be it. I hope that's the issue and not the other board. All right, we got the 8 screws that we got to take out again. At this point, you're welcome to just close the video, but we'll see if this actually worked or not, if this is the reason. Okay, there we go. All those screws out. Let's go ahead and lift this back up and pull this out. Okay, got that out. Let's go ahead and get the old battery back in and see if we are lucky here. Well, I would still say that's unlucky because the replacement battery didn't work, but okay. It's not in all the way yet. Come on, plug in all the way. This one's being a pain to get back in. There we go. Okay. Got that battery back in. Let's get this back in. I don't know what else it would be. I'll get these screws back in. Get that in. And this one. Okay, the other 4 can wait. Let's go ahead and test this real quick because I'm curious what is going on here. Okay, we'll turn this back to the on position. Open this up. Plug this guy in. So far nothing. Let's push the power button. Nothing yet. Power button. Again. Still nothing. What is going on here? Power button. Nothing's happening. Okay, powered on. Now it's doing the thing like before where the caps lock light is on solid and the keyboard is lit up. Nothing's happening. We're gonna give it some time. Might take a little while to come back up. If it still doesn't work, I'm gonna take out those 2 little metal things with the pins and kind of brush it off. Maybe see if there's some dust on it or something that's causing some problems. Because other than that, we're gonna have to end up changing back the USB-C board, and that was the one that was the most annoying. Okay, so again, we have the DELL logo. It's kind of acting the same as before, so I have a feeling it's still not going to boot up. Excuse me. Yeah, nothing's happening. I'm gonna let it sit for a while and then I'll be back again because sometimes it takes a while to do anything again. So we'll see. All right, see you guys in a bit. All right, still nothing happened, still on the DELL logo. So I don't think it's a battery issue at this point. You can see this one's showing orange. Interesting. All right, anyways, let's turn this off again. I'm gonna unplug this. All right, and we're gonna press and hold the power button a little bit. I'm gonna change the thing back. We're gonna try and clean these up because it's gonna suck if I have to change this back. Change that and the battery back. I'm gonna check these pins. We'll clean it off a little bit with the toothbrush and hopefully we'll have some luck there. Okay, so basically we're redoing this multiple times. I don't know if there's really a point for me to record this because it's just making the video longer, doing the same exact thing over and over again. I kind of want to get to figure out what's going on with this here. Okay, so I'm going to put the new battery back in because it doesn't seem the battery's causing a problem, so we're going to grab this and pull it back out. Okay, let's go ahead and clean these little pins off a little bit. Actually, I shouldn't use a brush on it. I'm just gonna get that cleaned up. That's all cleaned up. This is all connected right. Okay. Alright, let's get the battery in again. Line it up. Pitch it back in. Okay. If this still doesn't work, I'm gonna have to replace this piece again and see if that gets it working again. If that's the case, that's gonna really suck, but sometimes stuff like that happens, so we'll see. Okay. Got those in. I'm actually just gonna put this one in there this time. Okay, then we got these 4 screws. After this, I don't know if I'm going to keep recording because I'm basically doing the same thing over and over again, but kind of just want to find out what is going on here. This is so weird. Oop. All right, let's power this on again. It's probably again, turn this switch on. And again, it's probably going to take a while for this to start up, so let's see what happens. I already see the light on, the caps lock, and the solid light. Again, it's probably going to be the same thing, so there's no point of me recording this. We're going to wait and see if it comes on. If it doesn't, I'm going to take that thing back out, and then I'll be back to let you know if it worked or not. Alright, I'll see you guys then. Alright, so it's still having the issue, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna swap the board back and then we'll hope that it goes well. I have a feeling it could be that board that's bad because they shipped it in just like a bubble envelope like this, and this can put off a lot of static. That's not good for these boards, so I have a feeling this board is the problem. Alright, which sucks, because now I gotta take this whole thing apart again. Alright, anyways, we turn the battery off, and we're gonna go ahead and do this. Okay. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll let you know if it fixes the problem or not, but other than that, that's all for now. All right, I'll see you guys once I get this back in to confirm whether it's working or not. All right, see you guys then. All right, we got the other board back in, the one with the 15 on it. That's the one that was originally in there. We're gonna power this on, and let's see what happens now. Do I need to plug it in again? Okay, powering it on. You can see that light's on, caps lock light's on. All right, and this time it turned on way faster, so I have a feeling, let's see, come on, wake up. Still nothing, but this light is staying on. That's interesting. That's different than with the other board. So with the other board, this light went, oh yeah, so it's definitely that board. That sucks. I'm gonna have to replace it again, but there you go, it's on. So battery's working, it looks like. If I unplug this, it's working. If I plug this in, it's charging. All right, so sadly it looks like that board is the one to blame. So I'm gonna have to order another one, and we'll see how that goes. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.